evening. I am Kat. As always, is with me is Buckets, Luna, and Leon. Say hello, folks.
Hi.
Evening.
So tonight, one of us didn't have MySpace. So
I didn't have MySpace because I legit had a life or lack of a life.
Anyone who had a life knew that they had MySpace.
Yeah.
Prelude to that, I guess tonight's episode's about MySpace. Welcome, everybody.
I had Sanger and 9MSN, but I didn't have MySpace.
So start off the first question.
Okay, so for you MySpaces out there, would you say that MySpace was the cool place to hang out?
Oh, yes, 100%. What do you mean? There was profiles so popular that they attracted like millions of foot traffic onto their page. That's how popular MySpace was. Like there was like influencers on there before TikTok, before Facebook, before all of it. So you could say they really started influencing. That's where it originates from. I would put it down to that.
Leon?
I might go back even further, because I know MySpace, because like Luna or myself, I did have a MySpace account because I was Australian. Where were you, Buckets? No. I was. I did.
I don't know. Can you see these eyes?
I did have a MySpace account. It was really, really cool because that's how I managed to, I got interested in music again. It was to be honest, it was via MySpace because there was independent musician I saw perform because of MySpace. Sounded like Joss Stone too, which ain't that bad.
I had MySpace. I had MySpace, therefore I absolutely loved it. You could put all your favorite celebrities in your top 8, or you could put your friends in the top 8.
Yeah.
You could listen to music on your page.
You could pimp out your page.
Yeah, you could.
That was the coolest. And you know what? If you were cool and like around the school, and everyone, you talk about like, oh yeah, I put this cool thing on my page, go check it out, and be like all glitter and sparkly. There'd be gifts. It was amazing.
Yeah, like I love the idea of doing a layout on your MySpace page. Like for example, if it was Christmas time, you'd put like a Christmas layout. If it was Easter, New Year's, or just a random layout. And I love that you can change the skin of your MySpace. Just simply Googling a skin for it. And you could put it in your about section.
And that was technical stuff, having to change it. You had to put the HTML and like put the coding. You had to do the full coding for it.
Yeah.
And we learned that shit.
Well,
I just think it's absolutely hilarious.
Wait a second, Phil, right?
Sorry.
Luna is talking all this HTML stuff, and you guys always called me the nerd.
I just find it absolutely...
You know more than you're letting on there, Luna.
Oh my God. Am I the host or what?
No, you're an afterthought because you didn't have a MySpace account. What happened to you?
Well, I just think it's absolutely hilarious that you were ranking your friends from best friend to worst friend, and if you only had 8 friends, that means your
top 8 friends were like your 8 best friends, exactly, or your top 8 celebrities, as my sister said. So
now we're on the page.
That was just like the ones that were visual.
But do you know what? Having the fact that Tom was your number 1 friend on the grid.
Oh.
Yeah, he goes on the list.
I felt like, wow, I'm friends with a celebrity. Like I'm friends with someone who started a massive social media platform before the explosion of Facebook. What's the next question?
Do you believe MySpace would have a bigger advantage of making a comeback? What do you think, guys?
Luna?
No chance. Facebook, I say right now, Facebook dominates the market. And even TikTok and YouTube. Those 3 dominate the market. Even Instagram, I would say, I would put ahead of it. Like in its heyday, 100%, it was number 1. But now, if you try to make a comeback, because there's so many other ones that are already readily available, it wouldn't stand a chance.
You know what I think about that is that because
I think there is actually a website, like when you type in, I think there is actually a MySpace, but it's not the same type. But it doesn't. I don't think it does the same. It wouldn't track as well.
This is what I think about Facebook, right? Because Facebook is tightening the noose when it comes to censorship. There's going to be a point in time when you're going to have some things that are kind of like Facebook but aren't Facebook.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's
if
that's
that
when that's when
happens-
people will switch to Twitter. It's uncensored, so
What do
Yeah,
you think, Leon?
Not necessarily with Twitter, man. I've actually been in quote unquote Twitter jail. I've been in quote unquote Facebook jail.
But I
Oh.
thought since Elon's taken over that he's taken away all those things. If
No,
I'm
he's
not
still.
wrong.
I believe he stepped down. I believe he's announced that he
Yeah,
stepped
he
down
did.
recently.
Oh,
He
okay.
did.
I didn't know that. Okay, all right. I was wrong.
But you're right. I don't think MySpace was probably the revolutionary to this kind of social media stuff. I mean, there was Microsoft Internet Relay Chat. Now we're going back even further than MySpace here. We're talking about the 90s here. But MySpace was basically the spin-off of that, and then from MySpace you had Facebook, and then Twitter, and then like Instagram, as Luna said, TikTok as well. Throw that in the mix. I don't think it could make a comeback, and also MySpace was censorship at one stage, because I should know. Some of my posts that I remember on MySpace did get blocked. So I played the freedom of expression card, and they were put back on. So
Can you ask me the question so I can answer?
do you believe MySpace would have a bigger advantage of making a comeback?
I believe so. The reasons why is because I think, as your stipulated said, that Facebook is tightening the noose on censorship, on wokeism, on you can't say this, you can't say that. I think MySpace has a potential of a major comeback because with our current woke, our current can't say this, can't say that campaign, I think if Tom were to invest money back into it, rehash the idea of MySpace, I think it can. It brought a sense of fun, a sense of safety, a sense of, you can change your skin on it. You back then you weren't afraid to say what you wanted to say. And you didn't have to add whoever, you could listen to music. You could also play MySpace games, which was really, really cool fun. And I think Facebook doesn't have Facebook games unless it's like you download an app, where on MySpace you can legitimately, sorry.
You can play games on Facebook.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
not
but-
like MySpace.
Like from the app, you can.
No, but not like where you had the chance on MySpace to actually click on MySpace games and play it directly through the PC. But the thing is, I think if Tom were to have a meeting or invest back in it, because I did some research on MySpace when Tom gave it up. He actually sold it to Justin Timberlake, and Justin Timberlake partnered up with one of his friends or something, and then he sold it to another company. And that company, well, I think went to liquidation or decided to close it down. I think days of MySpace and Bebo need to make a comeback, and I think it can.
I think any platform where you're allowed 100% freedom is attractive. So Mark Zuckerberg thinks he's doing the world a favor by becoming woke and being less offensive, but he's clearly destroying freedom of speech. And so any platform, whether it be MySpace or another platform that gets created that's similar to Facebook but's not Facebook, will ultimately attract people because of its freedom of speech. But as soon as you tighten that noose again, it'll become unattractive, and people will just jump to another type of platform, and that will happen in any market, and that's been happening for a millennia. So that's just how the world works.
Next question.
hang on, and also right now with Facebook tightening its grip, it's becoming so unlikable that Tom won't even be Mark Zuckerberg's friend.
Yeah,
That's true.
that is true.
Good
So
point.
did MySpace start a social media craze?
Ooh. Who wants to feel that one?
No,
Yes.
it didn't.
Oh.
No.
It didn't. Microsoft Windows had a like I said, I did say in the past, internet relay chat, which was the precursor to what you would know as MySpace. That was back in the 90s, and then MySpace came in and took it over, and pretty much pretty much gobbled up MIRC, and now you got Facebook, Twitter, Insta, TikTok, you name it. They've pretty much gobbled up what was left of MySpace, and now battling out for superiority. But right now, I'd imagine that Facebook is probably the brand leader right now.
Yeah, well, look, I remember things like ICQ back in the old days, and like I said before, 9MSN, and
Have an
also
MSN as well.
there was so
AOL.
many.
There
Yeah,
you
there were
go.
so many other chat services out there that weren't even as big as MySpace, which people were using frequently because everyone liked to have a chat. And so, yeah, I don't think MySpace was the origin, but certainly MySpace was a major contributor that led to whatever the hell we've got now. So, yeah.
What about you, Luna?
I would say on a popular international level that MySpace was the father here, the pioneer. Only because all those programs, they might have inspired what MySpace accomplished. However, MySpace in the time that it was created and what it really accomplished and how much traffic it got to its page, I would say that's where the craze for social media amongst the masses really started. 100%.
Yes. So, did MySpace start a social media craze?
Absolutely, 100%. Because when it first came out, there was nothing like it, and everyone flocked to it. And it was just something. And as soon as I heard about it, I was like, oh, yeah, what's this thing? It wasn't called social media or a social media platform. It was just social media. And I went to it and I was like, what's this all about? And then I was looking around and I was poking around and I went, oh yeah. And then it said you can change the skin on your MySpace page to whatever you want. You can design and create your own layout. And I went, wow, that is so rad. And then you could add music from celebrities onto your page and sort of have friends. And then it was sort of like you're always going in and out of it. So yeah, absolutely, it started this phenomena, and it just became the biggest thing in the world, and a lot of people had fun with it just before the explosion of Facebook. And it was just the biggest thing because you had Bebo, you had Zanga, you had IQ, you had MSN. And it's sort of like we still had those, but I still preferred MySpace because it was a safe environment. You could do whatever you want, and it just felt like a happy place to be. So yeah, it definitely started a craze. Definitely, Maya.
It was
The question.
because of MySpace that got me interested in actual graphic editing. Like when you see the template
Yeah.
and stuff like that, that was the kind of stuff that got me interested in editing, that kind of design editing. That
So
was
I just wonder what actually did it come first. Was it MySpace or Zanga? See, I wasn't on MySpace, but I definitely was on Zanga. And one of the reasons why I was on Zanga was because it kind of attracted me because I was a poet at the time, and I was also an emo at the same time as well. And so
you were an emo.
I was an emo.
By
I was an emo with a sense of humor.
the
And
way, Zanga came out in 2007, so MySpace came out earlier than that.
right, well then it must have been MySpace that was a predecessor, because I just remember having to do all the HDMI stuff on Zanga. But that was slightly different. That kind of attracted people who were into poetry and rap and heavy metal and
Oh yeah.
the arts. It was more based around that than anything else.
And the good thing, might I point out, is politicians never had a MySpace page. They couldn't have a MySpace page, and they weren't able to put videos, or they weren't able to have their area to speak or say whatever or type whatever. And that was just the strong validity of it. That's how much fun it was. Like, you didn't have such high drama, and it was just Oh, I miss it. I really hope one day that it does make a major comeback, because I know so many people, and I've read this online. So many people have tweeted hashtag bring MySpace back. Hashtag we need MySpace. Hashtag we want MySpace back. And so many people are hashtagging it. And I just remember joining it in saying, yes, hashtag bring MySpace back. Because if it does, it's gonna be bigger than Facebook. Way bigger.
I don't know. I think Facebook is already really, really big, but it would take a lot to supersede Facebook. But I mean, again, if Facebook keeps closing, tightening the noose, so to speak, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch for Facebook members to just decide to jump on to another platform where they're not going to be shut down, or and just jump sites. In fact, it's if
It
you
would
got
have to
a
be it would have to be an app that's so similar to Facebook though. Like it couldn't be like there is a MySpace now, but it's just not the same as what it used to be, you
No,
know.
it's a
In
musician's MySpace that no one pays
Yeah,
attention to.
exactly. So it would have to come back in a way where we kept the aspect, you know, from the 2000s where we would put the coding on the page to make it look cool. We would have music on the page, our top 8, blah blah blah. But then there would also have to be an aspect where there's a news feed, because that's the part that people crave the most about Facebook, and that's what people would crave out of a social media app. Twitter has it, Instagram has it, TikTok has it, YouTube has it. They all have it.
Yeah.
I think they need to just kind of focus on advertising themselves a bit better. If they can sell the idea that we've got something that Facebook doesn't have, or they could sell the idea that we're freer than all the other platforms, then and do that night after night after night after night after night, then they would have a chance with competing with Facebook. But right at the moment, they're not doing that. And so most people have barely even heard of MySpace, and therefore they won't even join it. So yeah, like they're not doing a lot with their advertising, and so it's not going anywhere, unfortunately.
Next question.
Um, uh, do you remember changing the layout of your MySpace page? I think
That's
you.
the one we just talked about.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So much fun. Anyone?
Yes, 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 times 1,000. I was a boss at that SHT. I swear on my life, I used to Google cute, kawaii, aesthetic, pink and purple. My one used to be filled with glitters and gifts, and the whole thing would be like the whole heading would be like, welcome to my page. And I used to even create custom like pictures and stuff for people, for my friends, because I used to do them for myself. So then I'd be like, do you want one? And then I would make it for them. It was the best. That was the best feature about MySpace. I don't care what anyone says. The most funnest part about it was spending hours creating your profile to look cool.
Yeah.
And then you'd go on someone else's profile and you'd be like, that looks cool. And then you could like Google, like, you'd be like finding glittery, let's say it was like glitter background. Then you'd search glitter background, find the one that they use, put it on, and then you could find all the cool things that they used. And there was more to it than that. You could full customize, like even the buttons on there. You could customize everything.
Leon, do you remember changing your layout?
Oh yeah. I remember it started out really plain and stuff like that, and we started getting into changing all of the stuff. We'd find the best ones and mix them up a bit to try and figure out what really works. Oh, that was the most fun I had. And I did mention earlier on, it's pretty much what got me into editing. What got me into like graphic editing. Like I don't have any quote unquote experience with editing. I just do it because I want to do it. I don't have any experience running around with programs editing, but that's what got me started with that. I saw how they could do it and I figured it out, and I just started just going at it. I absolutely loved that stuff back in the day.
I remember one Christmas. I was so bored, and I was on there, And I was like, I want to change my layout because I remember like Luna, I had pinks and purples and blues and glitter and girly stuff.
I
And then
would
I
change
started,
mine like every day, honestly, nearly every
yeah,
day.
same. Yeah, same. So I would download a Christmas one, then I go, I don't like this one. Then I'll go back to Google, change it again. Like 2, 3 times a week, I would like literally change. And then after Christmas was nothing. So it was just like back to the glitter, the pink, the butterflies, purple
Remember how
things.
many that you would go through trying to find them, right? You'd be like, let me try
Yeah,
this one. You try it, it would look bad. So you'd have to go, you would try heaps of them just to find the one that looked right.
yeah.
Okay. So fifth question, was MySpace a game changer?
Yes. I'll but let the gang answer first.
MySpace is an OG. Whether people in Gen X understand it or not, maybe some of them might, I'm not sure. But anyone before that, 100% understand MySpace and the influence that it had at the time, around the, the social aspect of, even in friend groups, music, celebrities, everyone was using it. It was the it thing to do. There's no doubt in my mind that MySpace is 100% one of the most influential pioneers in the social media game.
What about you, Leon?
Oh, absolutely. It was definitely a game changer because, when it came out around 2003-ish, there wasn't many like social media platforms. We didn't really call it social media platforms back then.
Yeah, they didn't have a name for it.
Yeah, they did not have a name for it. It just rapidly became social media or social networking or whatever. But before MySpace, there was only the basic stuff like internet relay chat, and then you got America Online. Luna did mention America Online a while back. Then it was,
MSN.
yeah, yeah, that's it, MSN.
MSN was a massive one.
But that didn't have the format that MySpace had. This was the first real graphic intensive platform, and that's what drew eyeballs, and
Yep.
people used it. And then obviously from there, uh, branched off, and there was
It was
more.
the first social media where you could show off your personality via your portfolio,
Oh
your
yeah.
your
Yes,
profile.
yes, exactly.
They were the first to do it, I believe.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna answer with that. As Luna and Leon said, it really matched your personality, your attitude. So, was it a changer? Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind that even even after the closure of Bebo, that and MySpace started this cool hangout trend. Like MySpace was like the funky milk bar that you'd go to with your friends and you'd sit there, you'd eat and you'd drink and you'd gossip and have fun as kids. And I think this was the the rad thing to do, the cool thing that we used to do.
And
It was
unfortunately, Bebo was discontinued in 2022 last year.
yeah, it was discontinued. They brought it back for a limited time and then they brought it back and then they got rid of it. But the thing is, MySpace will always be known as the cool place for anyone and everyone. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter how far away you are. It was the cool place.
Actually, I will say this about MySpace, right? It's interesting how you all say that MySpace was like the godfather of the OG of the
Yeah,
new
the OG.
social media. And one of the things MySpace actually did was and I actually saw this quick clip of who's our favorite famous musician? Oh, David Bowie. There we go. And he actually said that the internet is different from all other means of communication, because it'll just be changed from um, a quote unquote tool to an actual beast. And the reason for that is because it can be basically it can actually be like either a great advantage to us all, or it can be completely weaponized and be extremely
Well,
dangerous.
it's already
for them.
both.
But my point is, he made that statement right in the 80s. Okay, so it was quite prolific when he actually did say that, and no one believed him. And he said, "What are you talking about? It's just a tool, right?" He said, and he said, "No, it's not a tool." And so when you have things like MySpace and stuff like that, it's very hard to actually call it a quote unquote tool, because really what it is it's a collection of a personality. So you can actually really call it a beast, if you will, because we've humanized it. And this is the precursor of Facebook, 9MSN, and all of that, which are all based off human personalities. So
This is the robot equivalent of two humans coming together and making a baby. You know, the sperm and the egg enter each other. But in this case, it's technology and our personalities mixing together to create an online portfolio. It is creative. You are able to express creatively exactly who you are.
But do you know what I also finally loved about this? And I'll leave it open for you guys to discuss, which is there was no ads. There was no, ads to interrupt what you're doing. There was very limited newsfeed. There was no ads. And you didn't have to hide anything that you didn't feel was appropriate for you, or it didn't it's not something you want to see or hear or read. It was just a free fall where our personalities were matched. It's kind of like, how can I put it? Correct me if I'm like a AI, as you said, a robot, right? Artificial intelligence knew back then that this game changer, this OG granddaddy of them all, brought people together and brought celebrities with musos and brought ordinary people who felt like they were important. You can change the layout, listen to music, play games, talk to whoever you want. It was the coolest place to hang out. It was safe, blah, blah. But it's just, I want to throw this to the subscribers and viewers. Answer me this. Should MySpace make a comeback? Let us know in the comments. I'll leave that lastly to you guys to talk about.
Also, there is one thing I'd likely last to say is the fact that one of the things that was made MySpace so great and all the other platforms pre Facebook was that you had 100% freedom.
Oh yeah.
And you could be whoever you wanted to be.
Oh yeah.
You could be a butcher, baker, celebrity,
candlestick maker.
Candlesticks maker. You could be whatever you wanted, right? It was great for probably dating and all sorts of things because you could be whoever you wanted. But today you can't be whoever you want anymore because your whole life is exposed.
Oh yeah.
And there are rules and whatever. And if you say the wrong thing, then that's enough to take you to court. But in MySpace, that wasn't the case. You had 100. You had 100% freedom.
And the other thing is, it didn't hold your information. So once you closed your account down, it was gone.
Gone. Yep.
Nothing. There was nothing there about you. It was like that, and it would go.
Yeah. Nowadays, there are government organizations that hold on to your information for at least 7 years.
Exactly. What do you guys think? I'll leave that lastly to you.
All right.
Is that it? No more?
Right,
I thought you were talking to the subscribers just then. That wasn't clear.
No, that was the subscribers.
No,
that wasn't the subscribers.
I said I leave that.
Can you guys talk a bit louder? We can't hear you. Say it louder, guys.
I'm saying I'll leave that to you guys to discuss in the final moments. What do you think so far? Recap.
Yep. That's all that I've got to say about MySpace. I think we're done.
You, Leon?
MySpace was definitely the game changer for social media. They had the basic ones to start with. MySpace started the change.
Oh, I like that. MySpace started the change. Let us know in the comments below. Hashtag bring MySpace back. Should it come back? What do you guys think of our questions? Answer them for us. Let us know. Like, comment, and share, and invite your friends. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and let us know. Don't forget to subscribe. We are Cat Space. On behalf of myself, I'm Cat, Buckets, Luna, Leon. We look forward to seeing you next. Our up and coming one is the New Zealand snack taste test. Get ready for that. Until then, wherever you are, good morning, afternoon, early evening, or good night. Stay safe and God bless. Bye.
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 I can't stay.